We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Monty. Monty is looking for headphones that his kids can use in the car. They've been using some monoprice over-the-ear headphones, but the wires have come a bit loose and the sound is cutting in and out, which the kids don't like. I can't imagine why.
Fair enough.
So he was wondering if there's any decent wireless headphones we could recommend for about $30 a pair. Okay, so the car I currently drive is a 2003 Honda Pilot. It was the first generation Honda Pilot. My parents tested the car, loved the car, and bought the car. My brother's autistic. I've mentioned that about 100 billion times on this. And oftentimes, in order to tolerate any sort of driving, he needed to watch movies. And this was before the years of iPads and all that stuff. So they had the DVD system put in there with the little wireless. It's actually IR headphones that are in there. They are awful on almost every possible conceit. They're uncomfortable and they sound terrible. And if you put your hand in front of your face, the sound cuts out. But there's plugs in the front there. There's plugs in the front that you can manually plug in 3 sets of headphones, which is more than enough for the 3 children I have. It's actually exactly enough for the 3 children I have. My kids break headphones. Like my 14-year-old son chews on the cables while he's listening to things.
Sure, okay.
So very rarely does he have 2 headphones. He usually has 1 and a frayed wire on the other side.
Yep.
And then, he'll find some earbuds or something like that, and then he'll use those until he chews through one side, and then he'll find some more ones or whatever. My suggestion here, sir, is not to try to buy $30 headphones for your kids. My suggestion is to go to like Target or Walmart and go find some earbuds or cheap headphones.
What about like the Koss Porta Pros? Those are good sounding. Those are the on-ears. Those have the lifetime warranty.
Which are those? I've never heard of those. Have I heard of those?
Those are like, the Koss Porta Pros are like what would you call them? They're like legendary because they give you this crazy lifetime warranty where they'll just keep replacing them.
That's about the only
nauseum.
thing. That's about the only thing I would suggest. Then I mean, because with me, what we did is
they're cheap, they sound decent, and they keep replacing them when they break.
We bought like a dozen pairs of headphones. They're just like earbuds and stuff like that. And my son were like, "Oh, they don't really sound that good." I'm like, you stop chewing on them, and I have given them all decent headphones at one point or the other, and they've destroyed every single one of them. So the other thing I did too one Christmas was Santa gave them all like entry-level $20 over-ear plastic Sennheiser headphones, which they loved, and they sounded pretty decent, but they don't hold up to a lot of abuse. So how abusive are your children? Because that would be a very, very good option, I think, for them as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you want something that was, because his second question was that he wants to make sure that they don't damage their hearing, so he wants he was thinking active noise cancellation, and maybe they'll just naturally keep the volume down. But I think the better thing is headphones that have a volume limit on them. Yeah. So the WireCutter did a really comprehensive comparison of a bunch of kids' headphones, ones that are directed at kids. And they basically came to the conclusion that almost all of them were terrible. Yeah. They didn't do what they said they were going to do. Yeah. They sounded awful. Yeah. The kids hated them, everything. Yeah. But they came across one from a company called, I guess it's Puro, P-U-R-O anyway, the BT2200s. Now, they're about $100.
Dang.
So that's the problem. But they're Bluetooth or wired, so they have a removable cord.
Okay.
So you can have them be Bluetooth if you want. The battery lasts 18 hours, they say, the built-in battery. So you can remove the cord, or the nice thing, I like ones where you have the option of putting the cord back in if the battery dies or whatever, right?
Right.
And they're like, these ones actually do have the decibel limitation. They'll play up to about 85 decibels and no louder. So that's still loud, but it's not, it'll make sure that you don't get damaged hearing. You can listen to 85 decibels straight for, I think it's 4 hours, right? Before there's even a chance of any hearing loss. So yeah, I mean, that's a good choice, but they're expensive. To me, I'd grab a bunch of the Koss Porta Pros because they're super cheap and they'll keep replacing them if your kids break them.
Yeah, and when it comes down to this volume too loud thing and active noise canceling, all it does is it takes like any sort of background hum.
Yeah.
So that's what they're good on airplanes. On airplanes, there's like that constant noise on an airplane or on a bus or something like that. It does not, I mean, it has no ability to block out your children speaking or, particularly loud sounds or anything. It's all about that hum that's back there. So will that make them keep the headphones lower? Unlikely. The only thing that's going to do that is I do what I do, random headphone checks.
Sure.
I do. I'm like, give me your headphones. And I put them on. I'm like, this is too loud. Turn it down.
But I mean, those Puros will work. They're $100. So yeah.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.